Hello, Leo loves. It's Kat here from Self Unity. And for today's reading, we are creating a soul activation message that is meant to activate your soul in relation to anything that you're working through at this time. So, for today's reading, we are using the beautiful Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards. And I'm so excited and grateful to be sharing this deck with you all because this is a deck that I have kept close to myself for quite some time. It's just one that I really wanted to keep to myself because the illustrations in it are just so beautiful and so powerful, and the messages that they bring forth are deeply activating. So I wanted to spend some time getting familiar with it. However, a couple weeks ago, I felt guided to create these soul activation readings for all the signs. So I am excited to share these powerful activation messages with you all today. All right, love, so let's go ahead and see what your messages of guidance are. So I'm going to pull all your cards first. That one kind of jumped out, and then we will get into your divine messages. All right, so let's get one more card. One more. All right, it's not going to come out. Oh, there we go. It flipped over. I'm going to put these ones away. Okay, so your first card actually flipped over, and yours is the first one that's ever flipped over, actually, I think, in all these readings. So you have 24 Evolution. Evolution. So let's go this way. We're going to go backwards today. We have 38 New Blueprints. Ooh. You are evolving. You are elevating into a new timeline. Wow. 39 Our Ancient Future. Wow. This is powerful energy, powerful medicine coming through today, Leo. Wow, wow, wow. 43 She of the Lotus. She of the Lotus, the Rising Lotus. Wow. Okay, Leo. You are definitely quantum leaping into a new timeline. And I almost don't want to say quantum leaping because quantum leaping, when we think about quantum leaping, a lot of the time it can be misconstrued as like this huge leap. But in order to quantum leap, it's about taking small steps. Like quantum means very tiny, minuscule energy. And I feel like the energy that's being shared here is around like taking big leaps, okay? But, quantum leaping is about making a big shift through those tiny steps. And so what's coming through here for you, Leo, is I feel like you have taken multiple tiny steps in order to get yourself onto a completely new timeline. You're rewriting and rewiring your life, like almost like your DNA codes, and you are starting to see things like we have the DNA here, we've got it here and here, we've got the heartbeat right here, and it's like you are even right here too, like the frequency waves, and it's like you are rewiring your inner codes to rewire your physical reality and the life that you're experiencing in a grand way. And we have the She of the Lotus here, which is about transformation, deep transformation, and it symbolizes this energy of having to work through some really heavy energy, hard energy, having to, push through the mud in order to come up and breach the surface into creating this beautiful blossoming flower that shows so much beauty and harmony and peace and love. And so I really feel like you have had to go through some very challenging experiences over the course of your life and your existence. But all of those experiences that you went through have gotten you to the point that you're at now to be able to say, I no longer want to be experiencing life in those ways, and I want to take control of my destiny, take control of your future, and create these new blueprints for your divine evolution, and to really align yourself with your dreams, with your destinies, and even like with your spiritual mission and the things that you came to earth to create, to give life to share, and to experience as an individual, and also with the collective too. I am getting like some Lemurian codes coming through this, and this deck is called Beyond Lemuria. And this card always brings up the energy of Lemuria, where it's like you are possibly helping to recreate the energy of Lemuria here on Earth once again, and returning the divine wisdom back into the collective consciousness. First, though, you're tapping into that collective consciousness through yourself. So some Leos, you may be going through a deep awakening process right now, and just barely beginning to uncover the truth of your spiritual mission, your soul mission. Okay, so for some of you, I feel like you may not fully understand what your spiritual mission is just yet, and it's because there are some experiences that have been lined up for you very soon, like in the near future. I'm not seeing like in the distant future. It's like this year, maybe next year, where you're going to go through a cycle of different events and experiences that the universe has lined up for you to go through in order to awaken you to your deeper soul truths that are already existing and resonant within your DNA codes. It's just that I feel like you may not quite yet be aligned with the frequency of those deeper spiritual truths in your soul mission just yet, because you may still kind of be working through that muddy energy that we talked about, bringing healing to maybe beliefs or conditioned ways of being. And so you're trying to work through that energy, bring healing to your conditioned beliefs, ways of being, in order to guide you towards those experiences that the universe has aligned for you to go through, so that you can fully awaken to the depths of your divine truth and your soul mission that you are meant to be experiencing in your lifetime and while you're here on planet Earth. Okay, but there's something about the frequency that's being highlighted. Okay, so so spirits may be guiding you to do some frequency work. You may be learning about different frequencies and how, like, what frequencies all things operate at. Okay, so you may be just learning about frequencies overall. Some of you may be learning or working with like sound healing, sound frequencies. And with that too, Spirit's saying to just be mindful when you listen to sound frequencies online, because there are a lot of videos out there of people saying like things are a certain frequency, but unless you have a frequency reader, you're really not able to know if those frequencies are accurate to the ones that they are claiming them to be. So you may also be getting a frequency reader so you can know and tap into the frequencies that you're really wanting to tap into. And also, Spirit saying to that too, to where I said like you may not really know unless you have a frequency reader. I feel like for you, you actually have this spiritual gift where you are able to know what the frequencies are, like what frequency things or sounds are operating at. Like this is one of your divine spiritual gifts that you're going to be awakening to and accessing. So something around frequencies is very important to your soul journey and what it is that you're meant to create. And it's important to like this new timeline and your evolution that you're aligning yourself with. So really interesting message coming through there for you, Leo. And Spirit's not letting me go too deep into it, because they're saying this is something that you're going to have to uncover as you continue along your journey. And it's something very unique to you, where it's like you'll be able to decipher different frequencies just by knowing it. You won't need that frequency reader. But then there's also like a certain frequency that you bring and provide to others and to environmental spaces. And so you're also getting familiar with like your own frequency and how your personal frequency affects your relationships and your environments that you are connecting with as well. And you are meant to go through this process of learning about that, because one, it's important to know the effect that you're having on others in like your relationships. It's also important to know how to work with that energy with awareness so that you can implement the changes that you are being guided to implement in your immediate environments and like the world and as part of your soul mission. Like you're meant to offer these profound healing frequencies that you carry within the depths of your DNA codes, to create change in some way. I also feel like you're meant to activate these healing frequencies within others too. So really beautiful, powerful message there. Very unique message we're getting for you, Leo. So thank you for allowing me to share that message with you all. Very cool energy. Okay, let's see what else is coming through for you here, Leo. I feel like that is the message. I do feel like for some of you, you will be beginning a new journey of sorts. And we have the new blueprints here, our ancient future. But for Leo, what I'm getting, it's like you don't even quite yet know where this evolution is going and where it's taking you, and you're meant to just kind of be walking that path. And it's because like I said, the universe has very specific experiences lined up for you that you are meant to move through in order to help you with your awakening journey. And it's like where you're at right now is not where you're going to be at in 3 to 6 to 9 months time, in like a year's time. You're going to be in a completely different space, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. This really feels like really big shifting energy, like a huge transformation is happening for you in the physical world to get you to transform on a mental, spiritual, and emotional level. And so Spirit's not allowing me to dive too deep into this because your activations are going to come through you experiencing life as it happens for you and as you move through those experiences. Okay, but Spirit does want me to share with you to just know and be mindful that you have the divine wisdom to get yourself through all of those experiences that you're going to be moving through. And you already know this, but they do want you to be really mindful of how you allow yourself to show up in your future experiences, your relationships, connections, and the environments that you're in, and to observe how you're exerting your energy and how it's affecting those relationships outwardly, because your frequency has a huge effect when you are in the presence of other people. This is like giving, Leos, they very much exude that energy of confidence, and like I'm hearing like the word celebrity, like celebrity energy. And just like when somebody who's like a fan is like in the presence of a celebrity that they really admire and care for, the individual person, like they become a fan, they become somebody who like kind of loses this sense of control over themselves. They don't know what they're saying, they don't know what they're doing, because they're just like awestruck, starstruck. And this is like the energy that you exude, where your frequency gives off this energy where it puts people in a position that they may not really know how they're acting or why they're acting that way. And it's something to do with like the frequencies that you give off when you connect with other people. And so it's very important that you become mindful of how your energy is affecting other people, and to learn how to kind of pull it in so that it's not putting people in those positions. And also I feel like you're just going to be learning how to work with it in a way so that it is positively affecting other people, and not creating these paradigms of confusion, or like just kind of losing their sense of self. And so you may also be teaching others how to embody their frequencies at such a high level too, because I feel like your frequency is at such a high, such an elevated level. That's why it has these effects over these people, but also the environments too. So like when you enter into an environment or a physical space, your energy is like transmitted out into that space, and it has an effect on like how things are happening or what's happening in that space. Okay, so I'm getting this energy of like things may go a little faulty, or things may like constantly be requiring your attention, needing you to fix something or tend to something, and it's just because your frequency is just so elevated. And so there's also this energy, this message coming through around needing to make sure that you are also grounding yourself here on planet Earth, and that you're not existing too much in those higher elevated frequencies to the point where it's like you're constantly like having to fix things, that your energy is causing to create a little bit of chaos. Okay. So just be mindful of that, and this is definitely going to be a lesson that you're going to be working with over the next couple months, to just learn how to pull your energy back into yourself, learning how to ground yourself so that your energy is not exuding outwardly in such a like heavy way where it's like really taking over and fully influencing how other people are operating, and how they're sort of like losing their sense of self when they're in their presence. Because even though this is something that your ego may be really excited about and loving, your soul knows that you need to kind of pull it back in and ground into this reality, so that way people are not getting too caught up in your energy, and then you're not allowing them to, and so that way you're just remaining within your own energy, and you're keeping it safe and protected within yourself, and not allowing other people to take on your influence or your energy lines. Okay, so there's also this energy of needing to kind of protect your frequency, because when you exude it so strongly, it very easily opens up the door for people who may be aware of what your frequency is doing to come in and tap into that possible chaotic energy and cause mayhem. Okay, so just be mindful of that as well, and know that it's a beautiful thing to have people loving and admiring you, and to be caught up in that energy of your energy, but it's also very important that you kind of gain some control over it, and just know how it operates, and understand and know how it's affecting others, and how it's affecting yourself. Because when you show up in these situations or these physical spaces, and then things are constantly doing their thing, getting a little chaotic, breaking down, whatever it is, then you're having to stop whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is that you're wanting to give your energy towards, to go and fix all these other things that your energy was influencing and affecting. Okay, so you're definitely going through this awakening process and this experience of learning how to pull your energy back into yourself, and to maintain a balanced, easy balanced level of energy here through the transformation that you're working through. Okay, this one is like a little bit more where it's like slow, and it's like really high energy, low, really high energy. And that could also be something that you experience where you get these like heavy bursts of energy because your frequency is so elevated, so high up, that you tend to crash pretty hard. Like you when you come down from being in those high levels of your higher frequencies, you tend to crash really hard when you get a moment to come back down and be present here on Earth. And so you also want to have this more balanced energy where you're better in control of it, so that way you aren't going into that energy of crashing after having such high levels of experiences, connections, and those physical bursts of that chaotic energy that you have to go and tend to and fix all the things. Okay, so just be mindful of that there, Leo. Okay, let's see if anything else comes through. So we're also just picking up on balance here with the yin and yang. She's also got the two like her Om symbols here as well, which is about balance, meditation. So meditation is being recommended to you, Leo. It's going to be very important that you meditate with yourself at least daily, but Spirit's recommending weekly, because this will help you to gain that more sense of quote unquote control over your frequency, and just having that deeper understanding as to how your energy is influencing and affecting the world around you, the people around you, the spaces around you. And you'll be able to gain that better sense of, quote unquote control over your own energy, and not allowing it to cause chaos in your external environment. All right, let's see if anything else comes through. Oh, I was also drawn to the jellyfish here. So jellyfish could be significant to somebody, and also the starfish too, which also makes me think of the star card. So there could be some unexpected blessings that are coming in for you very soon, which could be connected to those experiences that you haven't gone through that the universe has lined up for you, and also connected to your awakening journey that you are about to enter into. Okay, so we are going to pull some more oracle cards from this deck here. This is the Healing Water Oracle deck. Let's just shuffle it a couple times, and then let's see, what does Leo need to know? Okay, we'll take these two, and let's get one more. Okay, let's see. So we have in call, Healer, Seer, Priestess or Priest X, and Soul Purpose. Yes, you are aligning with your soul purpose, and it's like a very spiritual energy coming in here, where it's like some of you may not even quite yet be like fully immersed on the spiritual path, or your spiritual path, in a way where you are like fully conscious of it, and that's why you may not be knowing like how your frequency is affecting these things around you, why this chaos keeps happening around you. And so that's why you're going through this awakening journey, is to dive deeper into the spiritual aspect of your own energy and like the life experience that you have as a whole. Okay, wow, there we go. The wishing well, unexpected gifts, kindness, and karmic jewels. Yeah, so something unexpected is coming in for you, but it does feel like a blessing because we have that star symbolism there, and the wishing well there too. And then we have bounteous, generously given, relationships, and coming together. Yes, okay. Okay, so for some of you, I'm feeling like there are some new connections, new relationships coming in, if that's something that you have been desiring or working towards. I'm also feeling here that there's going to be sort of like an evolution in your relationships, where maybe where things have been a little challenging with certain relationships in your life, these are going to be evolving, and that evolution could happen in a manner of different ways. Okay, so for some of them, they may kind of fall away because you're going to be aligning to new and higher frequencies. And then for some of you, they're just going to be evolving to a higher frequency with you, okay, as you work through this awakening journey. And then, oh, I'm also getting this energy of like a twin flame coming in too, or like a soulmate energy coming in, where you are awakening to a spiritual divine soul mission, and it's in alignment with your spiritual gifts around your frequency. And we also have the Seer, Healer, Priestess, and Priestess energy here, and just having like Priestess and Priestess and the two relationships here where they're kind of mirroring each other. This is definitely signifying twin flames. And so I'm just going to share really quickly, the thing about twin flames is that if you are on the twin flame path in this lifetime, then you have most likely reincarnated with your twin at the same time. And twin flames share a divine soul mission. Okay, this divine soul mission is a shared mission that they are meant to give life to together. And so I feel that through this awakening process that you are working through, and diving deeper into your spirituality and your spiritual journey and your evolution, and taking those quantum leaps, and just getting more comfortable and more familiar with your spiritual journey, your spiritual life path, you may be attracting or aligning with your twin flame or even a soulmate to give life to this shared divine soul mission that you were meant to give life to in this lifetime. Okay, so very beautiful message coming through there for twin flames. It's not very often that I share about twin flames anymore, but it is coming through, so we will take it. Okay, and that may not resonate with everyone, so if that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Just take it how it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, move along to the next thing there. Okay, loves. Okay, but the next message that's coming through too is around the unexpected gifts. And this starfish signifying like a wish being granted, something coming true for you. And so I feel that there is something that you have been asking to receive, and it's not just something you've been asking to receive, but it's also something with the two pearls there. I was going to say there's the pearl. Here's also the pearl there. It's also something that you have been working to receive, something you've been taking action on. So just like a clam has to work very hard, has to go through a very challenging period of transformation in order to give life to this beautiful pearl, glimmering, shining pearl. You too have been going through a deep transformation to call in some type of blessing that resembles that of a pearl. And so this blessing is like, it's just around the corner. You are about to receive it on a beautiful, maybe slightly unexpected way where you weren't expecting to receive it so soon, but it is happening for you and it is coming in very soon. And Spirit's saying that you actually already know what this is. So whatever came to mind first is what this blessing is. Believe that it is possible. Believe that it has already happened, because it has. It's just a matter of you continuing to do whatever it is that you're doing, to continue following your intuition, taking those steps that you're needing to take to call this in, but also just believing that you are worthy of it and believing that it has already happened in your divine timeline, because it has. You wouldn't be desiring it or working towards it if it wasn't meant to be yours. Okay, loves, let's go ahead and pull your tarot cards now. So we are going to pull your tarot cards from the Tarot of the Divine, and we're just going to pull 2 today. So I'm just going to shuffle the deck a few times, and then we will pull your cards. Okay, let's go one more shuffle. Okay, so we have 1, 4, 3 on my clock, which is always the message of I love you. So whoever comes to mind first is just signifying a little I love you to you, Leo. This could be a passed on loved one. This could be somebody that you're missing, maybe a twin flame, maybe a soulmate. All right, let's see what we have here. So we have 4 of coins. 2 of your cards are jumping out, flipping over. 4 of coins, and we also have 8 of wands. Okay, let's see what's coming through with these. So we have 2 birds here, so birds could be significant to somebody. Okay, you know what? There's a little fly here, if that's okay. Okay, so I was going to share that with this Bounteous and the Wishing Well, that there's this energy of you also needing to, okay, so just like I said with your energy here, where it's like needing to know how your energy, your frequency is affecting others and the relationships around you. I do feel, Leo, like I feel it's strange because I'm getting a little bit of a contradicting message here, but I feel like you are a very generous person. You like to give very freely to others because you know that what you give will come back around to you. Okay, however, I feel there is something very specific in your life, something in a physical sense. Okay, so maybe finances, maybe money, maybe even like your time. I don't feel like it's your time. I feel like it's something physical. So maybe not your time, but like your efforts, like actually having to help somebody. So an example is like, say a friend is moving and they ask you to help them physically move, and they you know, it's requiring you to show up physically and to help them take physical action to move things. So something along those lines, where I feel like you have been kind of keeping your energy close to you. So not wanting to share your money, not wanting to give your money freely, not wanting to give your like physical efforts very freely, just wanting to kind of stay close to you. I'm also getting this message of like, you know, like, you know, if you have a car and maybe you don't, like somebody asks you like, oh, can I borrow your car, or like borrow your truck to use, and you're just like, no, you're not gonna borrow it. Okay, so I feel like there's this energy where you've been holding something very close to yourself and not really wanting to give freely in that energy aspect, and Spirit's saying it's okay, but I do feel that there is a lesson or some type of experience that you are working through in connection to this energy, and it could actually be blocking you from receiving whatever it is that you're trying to receive, the thing that you're working hard to manifest and receive. Okay, so if you are kind of like scratching your head, like, oh, like, why is this thing not coming to me? I've been doing all the work, I've been taking the steps that I need to take, putting in the effort, and these things aren't coming to me. And then, a friend asks you like, hey, can you help me do this? Can I use your card for this? And then you're just like, no, like, that's mine. You're not using it. But it's like, that's kind of like the key that's going to help open up the floodgates for you to receive the thing that you're working on. So it's almost like a little bit of a test from the universe in relation to your energy of trusting in the universe and how it brings things to you, and also how you're connecting with others in the world around you. Okay, so really interesting, unique message there. It may not resonate with everybody, so again, just take what resonates and leave the rest there. I also feel like you are working very hard to make something happen, but you're like really focused on doing things the way that you've always done them. And there's like this other option that's being presented to you for you to try something in a new way. And you're just like, well, this is how I always have done it. It's always worked for me. Why would I try it that way? It's never worked for anyone else in that way. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. But that's like the missing key. Just because it didn't work for anybody else doesn't mean that it won't work for you. And I do feel like you're getting intuitive guidance, and also like physical guidance too, especially around this energy, around like having that high frequency energy and then crashing really hard when it comes back down. So it's like maybe you're having to put in a lot of effort and work to do things the way that you've always done them. But there's like another option that's available to you that will kind of help you to elevate your frequency so that you're not having those hard crashes and things can move with a lot more fluidity and ease. Okay, so there are other options available to you. Okay, and the Eight of Wands, I feel, is also signifying this blessing coming in very quickly. You're definitely going to be receiving an unexpected blessing very soon, loves. Okay, let's go ahead and pull your last card now. So I'm going to pull one last card from this deck here. This is the Self-Awareness Oracle cards. And these cards are questions that you can choose to reflect on just within yourself, or I highly recommend that you journal out your answers to these questions to help you work through and integrate the messages that we talked about in your reading here today. Okay, so let's see what your self-awareness soul activation card is, Leo. It doesn't want to come out. There we go. Okay. There's a lot of questions on this card. Here we go. Where am I with my health goals? Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? And what will it take for you to feel well? Okay, so where are you with your health goals? Where do you want to be? Why are you not there? And what will it take for you to feel well? Yeah, so this is again about your frequency, where you're exerting too much energy versus where you need to call it back and come back into yourself and tend to your self-care needs, your physical body needs. All right, so this here says, if your body could talk, it would say blank. What would your body say if it could talk to you? Okay, so right now, Leo, right now in this moment and after this reading, take a moment to just be present with yourself, be present with your body, tune into your breath, that meditation practice we talked about. Come back to yourself, come back to your body, ground down into this physical plane, earth here, recognize where your physical self exists in your body, and just ask your body what it needs in this moment. Just take a moment and do that right now. So I'm actually going to guide you through that. We have a couple, okay, we are going a little over time, but we do have a couple minutes. So let's just take a few deep breaths in now. Put your hand on your heart, one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach, and breathe in. Let it out. Breathe in. Let it out. One more time, breathe in. Let it out. And now just ask your body, what do you need from me? What do you need in this moment? Just listen to the answer. Maybe it needs love. Maybe a hug from you. Maybe an apology. Forgiveness. Maybe it needs some kind of movement. Rest. Sunshine. Return to love. We're coming back around to love. Okay, so just ask your body what it needs. And then dedicate time today to give that to yourself, to give that to your body, to help you ground back down here on earth into your physical body, okay? Because your frequency is so high, it's so elevated, constantly in your headspace, constantly in the energetic spiritual spaces, even if you're not aware of it, that it's very important that you come back and ground back down into your body, at least daily if you can, but Spirit's saying weekly. All right, so let's see your soul action today. Feed your body what it needs to feel nourished, appreciated, and loved. Make some new, exciting goals to take your health to the next level. So Spirit's also saying, what kind of commitments can you make to yourself right now to take your health to the next level and to really tend to your body? It's not about the health aspect. It's about how you can tend to your body and gift it with the nourishment and love and care that it is really needing from you in this moment. Okay, so one more time for your soul action, Leo. Feed your body what it needs to feel nourished, appreciated, and loved. Make some exciting new goals to take your health to the next level. All right, loves, that is it for your reading today. I thank you so much for tuning into this reading. And just know that I am rooting for you as you walk upon this journey of evolution and awakening. It is sometimes a bit challenging, but I know you got this. Your soul knows you've got this. You were coded for this to happen in this lifetime. And if you resonate with that twin flame message, I'd love to hear about it. I'm always being guided to connect with people who are on the twin flame path, as I am on it myself. So if that is something you would like to explore together, you can definitely reach out to me and we can talk more about it. So I just wanted to share that with you all, loves. But again, I'm sending you so much love. So if you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, loves.